Hello, everyone. Welcome to a dev stream. Today we have no Dennis. Unfortunately, normally we do the dev stream always on the date that we go on the test server. Because I was on a holiday, Dennis was gone. We had to do a little bit different, and we hit the test server first, so you already had a sneak peek. But we are going to look at the content that we have for today, and I have two people here that are gonna have voice icons when they speak. They won't be on webcam today, but they are Alexander and Christian. Alexander, you have already seen on the streams before. He is our weapon artist, weapon designer, basically. And we have Christian. And Christian, yeah, introduce yourself if you can.
Hey, I'm Chris. I'm basically budget Dennis. Since he's on vacation, I'm the next best thing. I'm a senior system designer on Hunt, so I work on everything gameplay related, pretty much. Yeah.
So he's also the one, just to quickly touch on that, because I know that some people, oh, I see that they don't have it like this, that some people, we have done a test or a survey for the aim assist on console, and I've worked on that together with Chris. So is the audio really weird? Buzzing mic sound. Is my mic sound buzzy? Okay, I guess it's a me. Let's just ignore it. But the survey I've done together with Chris, and basically we're still looking at the results. So we are trying to figure out what we're going to do next, what we can adjust on the aim assist. So it is something that is on our radar, and we are working on it. We just have to figure out what would be the best solution. So that's what I just wanted to add to it. So yeah, we have Chris and Alexander. So basically, we're just gonna go over the content for 1.4.3. Some of you already played it on the test server since yesterday, but today we're just taking the time to talk about it. Yeah, basically what the content is for the people that haven't played yet. I know a lot of people are asking for a new map, but it's not there yet, unfortunately. Okay, so I just have to do two. So focus on fixes. As we have shared before, both update 1.4.2 and update 1.4.3 are focused on fixes. We have already fixed a lot of bugs, but we're also still fixing other bugs. And I think Christian can maybe explain a little bit about one of the main bugs that we have fixed for this update, or will be fixed with this update.
Yeah, so there are a couple of major issues that's on everyone's mind, right? For example, the ADS issue fix is on test server right now. We're pretty confident that we figured out what it was. It was something related to latency and networking side. That's why it took so long to actually figure out what's happening in the end. And there are a lot more fixes on test server right now that are also not currently on the release notes because we want to see how they work out, right? So we don't want to mention it yet. There are things, for example, the vaulting over fences thing, right? That's ongoing investigation-wise. We have tentative fixes, but we can't be super confident about them right now. That's why we just want to get more data from test server. That's why it's so important that you guys play it. And if that still happens on the test server, like immediately tell us so we can confidently close this, hopefully when we go live with this update, right? So that's the general idea behind this update, that we get as many fixes as possible, as soon as possible out to you, right? It's not a major update. It's 1.4.3. It's a smaller one again, but it's important that we can tell you that we listen to you and we're working on the fixes. And this is us actively, yeah, promoting that.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, so in general, obviously the most known, like the ghost bug, is also something that we're still gathering data for, which is yeah, defaulting is something else. But that is very popular in the community as one of the most annoying bugs. But we are still working on that and gathering data. and fixing that issue as well. So we are getting a lot of results, especially because you guys have been providing us with logs, which is super helpful. So especially when we try to add more logging or whatnot, we will ask you sometimes to give us log files either on Discord or social media or whatnot. So it's really helpful for the players who've done that. So yeah, let's move on with the slides. So we have some new weapon variants, two to be exact, and I think Alexander can tell a bit more about these two. So we have the Winfield's Vandal and the Winfield Vandal Deadeye.
Hello guys first. So yeah, these are the new weapons that we want to add with 143. These are basically sawn-off Winchesters. So just to add more variety for the Winchester, my bad, Winfields, of course. Sawn-off Winfields, they are supposed to add more variety to the Winfield unlock tree, and it's basically a variant of the Winfield C. Yeah, it comes with the regular sawn-off version and attached with the Deadeye scope. It fits into a medium slot, so you can nicely combine it with dual wielding or any other sawn-off weapon of your choice. And yeah, basically it is a bit shorter than the regular Winfield C, so it holds one bullet less actually. So we have a 6+1 shots as a ammo reserve. And yeah, that's basically it. So you have more sway, of course, because the sawn-off stock. I think also less melee damage, but it basically is comparable to the other sawn-off versions, like for the Springfield or the Mosin Obres.
Yeah, the normal Winfield is in general, like in every aspect, a little bit better, right? But that's why this is a medium slot weapon, as Alex said. This one you pick for flexibility, like other variants in the medium category, right? If you want to have a proper Winfield, then you pick the proper Winfield. And the reason why we add this now is not that we ignored all the Reddit threads about it with people asking for it. We wanted to add this for a long time, but we think now the Winfield is in a good spot. It hasn't always been. We have to acknowledge this, but right now we think it's in a good spot. So that freed us up to actually add this, and I hope it's appreciated.
Yeah, and also where does this come into unlock? Because that is something that we have changed a little bit. I mean, we're not going to give too much detail, but we have altered some of the XP needed for some of the unlocks. So you should technically are able to unlock a lot of weapons. I mean, we don't have the whole list, but a lot easier than before or faster than before. So you can faster unlock multiple weapons before you prestige. And yeah, where does the Winfield Vandal unlock in their list or in their category?
Yeah, so basically it's unlocking after the Winfield C marksman. So you have to still unlock the Winfield C. What's first to come? So there's the Winfield C marksman, and after that, then there's the Winfield Vandal, and then the Winfield Vandal Deadeye, basically. And the Winfield Silencer comes before the marksman. So basically, it's Winfield C, Winfield C marksman, Silencer, then marksman, and then Vandal Deadeye. That's the order that we have.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have 2 videos for one each, so let's have a look at those.
Yeah, so this is nothing fancy. It's obviously just to show you how the size of the weapon looks on screen, right? Because you guys know the Winfield, and this is just a shorter version of it. So, and some of you have already played it on the test server.
Exactly. Yeah, and the Deadeye.
So this one has to be tried out actually to really appreciate it, because it benefits from levering, Deadeye, Scopesmith, and Steady Hand, right? So
Oh wow, yeah.
as soon as you invest in all these traits, you have a pretty solid sidearm for medium range. So yeah, just wanted to mention that, of course, levering works, and since it's a scope weapon, Scopesmith works, and it doesn't have a stock. That's why it's Steady Hand instead of Steady Aim.
Okay, moving on. Oh no. presentation. Yeah. Moving on. So we have some 200 changes. I mean, it's just one for each. Basically, we got the choke bomb. So the choke bomb is no longer a consumable, but it's now a tool. So yeah, maybe you can give a little bit of insight as to why we've changed that.
Yeah. So when we introduced the choke bomb, or before we did that, we actually thought a lot about whether it should be a consumable or a tool. And we considered both options valid, but we went for the consumable because initially it just makes sense to have that thing as a single throwable item, right? But we always thought about, okay, should we maybe switch it to a tool? And we just left it open. And social media showed that a couple of people actually came up with that idea, and we looked at a lot of potential loadouts and loadout combinations from different people, right? There's obviously also some concerns there that say, okay, if you can free up a consumable slot by moving it in a tool slot, and then people will pick more frag grenades or so. That's a valid concern, but our data shows that it's not necessarily related. And we think as a tool, it will um, it will bring up more feasible play styles. Like if you want to play some sort of support role, you don't want to pick two choke bombs because that's actually quite expensive as a consumable slot, because it takes up half of your consumables, right? And if you just bring one, you're really protective about it. You always think, okay, I have to save this and not throw it at an emulator or at a fire patch because I desperately need it to save my partner. By giving you more charges of it, we hope that it just gets used more to counter poison, to counter emulators and fire. And we just want to see the versatility of the item actually play out, and that's why we made the decision to move it to a two slot.
Yeah, and so one thing to add, they will be removed from your armory basically, but you will not have them sold automatically. So it is important if you have some choke bombs that you sell them before the update heads live, because they will get removed. And unfortunately, due to the technical limitations in that front, and changing it to a tool, you will have to make sure that you sell them, before they get introduced as
Yeah,
available.
it's a bit unfortunate that you have to sell them, but in the end, it will be way cheaper to run choke bombs now because they get refilled after a round, right? So in the
Yeah,
long run, you would benefit from it anyways.
exactly. Sell it for profits. Okay, and then we move on to the serpent trade. Yeah, so basically, the serpent trade can now start the banishing process. This was something that has been asked for when we introduced it, basically, because obviously, for the people that aren't familiar yet with what the serpent trade does, you can interact with clues or the bounty from a distance, and now you can also start to banishing from a distance. So let's say you're outside of the building, you're still relatively close, you can start to banish and still try to sneakily steal it, like a snake from the distance. So yeah,
Yeah, we thought about this feature from the get-go actually, but we decided to maybe hold it back for now and see how it plays out. But Serpent turned out not to be the overpowered trait that is necessary in every round, right?
yeah,
Um, so now we think we can add this feature to the trade, because the intent for the trade is to break stalemates and kind of hiccups in the objective flow, right? And people that sit on an unbanished boss, that's one of the issues that need to be tackled. Um, yeah, and that's it's pretty much a no-brainer. I mean, it should be there, and now it
yeah,
is.
exactly. Okay, moving on. So yeah, something else new. We have golden cash registers now. Yeah, speaking English, golden cash registers now, and instead of $100, they give blood bones. So you're now able to. I mean, obviously they'll be rare, to find these on the map. So I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah,
but they're super rare. Like it could be
yeah,
that there's a none in a mission, maybe you find two. I don't know. They are super rare. It's just something for players to feel really excited about when they found it. Yeah, and what we mentioned in the patch notes is that you get 25 blood bones. That's actually the initial reward you get, but we're looking at the data of the test server and see how often the thing actually is spawned and gets found, and these values will probably change. So maybe the reward is even higher in the end.
Exactly. So yeah, keep an eye out for these golden cash registers because you might get some blood bones. Yeah, so just a little bit about the spectate mode. So we already had this in place for quick play, where after the whole team is dead, or in quick play, just one person is dead, you can spectate the entire match. Then we run a test with it 2 weeks ago, I think we did it, for Bounty Hunt, and we have decided that we stay in the game for Bounty Hunt. Obviously, we will still have, we keep an eye out if people were to report that people misuse it, the same as people would like, pre-team or something, that is something they can still report and to us, to the team, or via Kayako, and then we'll have a look at it. But basically, we've decided to keep it in because the overall sentiment for the edition was positive. People like being able to still spectate a match, and also just to learn from other players, basically. So moving on, so we got a bunch of new trails for Lost in Delta, a total of 8. So first we got parkour. We have Out of Their Misery and Finish the Farce. One on Goddard Docks and Q&A Lumber. I don't know if you want to share something about it. We don't have videos right now, but you basically can try them out when you play.
There's a bit more info in the patch notes. I think it would be too much to read all of them, but there are some new setups, a couple of setups that are partially already in other trials, right? I would just say test them out because we will hear later also about a new reward for trials. But that's just a spoiler.
I see you're spoiling everything here. Holding Q&A. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like so natural to see. Scene is confusing. So we also have 2 sniper. I'm happy because I like sniper trails. Lightning does the work at Arden Parish, and No Voice, No Virtue at Lawson Station. So yeah, basically, click some heads. And also we have 4 waves: A Flash of My Flesh, Salt is Pork, Truth Doesn't Stick to Possibilities at Windy Run, Never Walk Back at Hemlock and Hyde, and We Do Not Need Light But Fire, Nichols Prison. Also, maybe that's a good point. Did we already have the bug fix with the trail where the 8th armor doesn't spawn?
Yes, that should be fixed and completable now.
Well, that's perfect to know then too, because I know that was something that we heard back from the community as well. So yeah, basically, new trials, try them out. Let us know what you think of them. And I know a lot of people are like, but what about a new map? A new map is still in the works. Just need more time, but it's gonna go. Oh, great. And then we move on to some more legendary content. So some of you might have already seen them. First off, we have the Gold Rush skin, which is for the new Winfield Vandal, and it looks amazing, by the way. Like, really great job. It's like the detailing and just the cracks of the gold are, they're super awesome. So, Alex.
Yeah, thank you. Basically the idea for this skin was born from the Gold Rush period the Gold Rush period that happened when the West was explored back then. The grip actually is made from stone. So there's actually a gold vein as part of the grip on it. And we have depictions of certain miner tools, a mine entrance, and the actual town where the owner of the weapon basically made his fortune and then moved back to the swamps of Louisiana. So I leave the rest of the story to be explored by you guys. But yeah, it was really fun working on it, and hope you guys enjoy this.
That looks really good. It is definitely like, definitely looks like there's ore stuck in it, like the gold ore in the stuck and I'm bad at how words of gun parts name, but like the barrel, I guess, right?
That's the stock. The barrel is the thing that the bullet comes out at the front.
Yeah, but like this part, right? And then the stock is the other side, or am I
Yeah, the
thinking?
handguard. Yeah.
Reverse this one and this one. Okay. Stock and foregrip. I mean, see, there's so many technical terms I'm not aware of. So yeah, and then we have the mosquito. Some of you might know where this is from, but if you've paid attention during the Twitch Drops campaign, you've watched a particular a few hunters play as the mosquito gang, with the silenced Nagan. So we have a new skin for that as well, the mosquito.
Yeah. Yeah, basically that's mostly we have like a nice combination of brass inlay and some like brass pattern on the receiver on its own. So I guess nothing much to say about it. I think like from the idea, I think it just looks really nice with the patterns on it, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy this as well.
I definitely see it's like every Nito fan loving this skin. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, when we sometimes see things happening in the community, we have to act upon it and integrate that in some way. So, so you're saying this is the mosquito gang skin? I mean, sort of, right? Yeah, we wanted to commemorate that really awesome moment. So, yeah. Okay, and then moving on for the Mosen Nagan Obrest, the Sinner's Giselle. Do I pronounce that correctly? I hope I do.
Giselle, yeah, I hope.
Giselle.
I don't know either.
Giselle, like the deer kind of thing. Is that it based off? I'm not sure.
So basically, the gun is based of a musket weapon,
really nice,
which we call Giselle, which are really long muskets, originating from Afghanistan. So basically, they are from the war between the British and the Pashtun, like the Afghan people. So they basically we took inspiration as from the design, basically. And there's like really nice nacre inlays all across the weapon. And yeah, it's basically more in an Arabic style of art direction on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's really amazing. Matthias did this from the weapon team, and I think he did an amazing job, basically bringing something entirely new to the game, because we don't have weapon skins that basically have like some kind of Arabic influence yet.
Yeah, I was about to say it's very different from the skins that we've seen so far. Like the art style direction is really, really nice. Turned out really well. I really like the I don't know what, like almost pearly material what it has.
Yeah, that's I looked it up actually, because how could I know nacre? That's basically Perlmutt in German. So yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Nice. And then we have the Lamat Mark II Last Resort, which does come with insects on it, but it's not the mosquito, but it comes with actually quite a lot of insects and tasty centipedes I see there, and
a cockroach.
Yeah.
Defining cockroach on the stock, and centipedes and all other crawly things. That comes as a trial reward, being obtained for 90 stars, I think. And I think it looks awesome. Also work from Matthias, and amazing.
Yeah, it looks disgusting and great at the same time. No, very nice. Yeah, I think that we're already at the end of the stream today. It was a very short one. But we definitely want to give you guys also the chance to ask some questions. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys want to know new map, new boss, etc. We will give an update about that soon as to like where ish we see that happening in the future, and also basically give a bit of an update on some bigger features. But yeah, obviously update 4.2 and 4.3 have both been more focused on fixes and just minor updates compared to the other updates. Like, we had double wield and the trials mode when we introduced them. So they were the more bigger features, obviously, where there was more content, but there will be more content with another bigger update. But yeah, let me see what questions we have. Do we need to extract to get blood bonds from the golden cash register? I would assume yes, right? But Christian, maybe you know more
Yes.
about that.
Yeah,
Same as
yeah.
the
All the same rules apply
yeah,
as with the other cash register.
exactly. Um, let's see. What else? What else? Will there be an inspect function? You mean like the you can already inspect basically. I mean, I don't know if you mean inspect your teammate or inspect other people, but you can spectate them. Um, Imagine getting blood ones and being killed with extract. Yeah, that's gotta make sure. Yeah, that's a good question from Diba. What is Alexander? I mean, this is more a personal question, but what is Alexander's favorite part of the skin making process? Conceptualizing, applying design on the model. Yeah, basically, what is your favorite part of it?
That comes down to sometimes the conceptualizing phase can be really stressful because, as you know, we have quite some skins already. So coming up with new ideas is actually the hard part. In the first place, that wasn't so much the case. So we were like free to like there was so much to explore. But right now, we have to like think more and do more research. And but once you have a really nice idea, then yeah, I think basically it depends. Like sometimes you have an idea right of the just right of your head and it just works, and then it's basically just doing it and it looks nice, and then basically it's of course the execution, the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in general, I would say the execution is definitely the fun part, especially when it then really like everything comes together and your idea is actually working out. Because like as long as you're not part in this execution stage, then you always still have this feeling like, oh, will it be as cool as I imagine it to be? Yeah, that's basically what I always feel.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and I also saw a question about will legendary hunters get different audio? So this is something that we spoke about quite some dev streams ago. But when we did it with our audio team, they wanted to potentially have different voices, but the issue is like hunters don't really have a different voice because we don't really have them saying anything because that would be really difficult with localization because you would have to say it in all languages and etc. and record it in multiple voices. So at the time, that is not something we have, but maybe in the future they do want to still, get something like that. But then it will probably not be voices, but just different variations of, grunting, basically.
Yeah, these things always sound like really easy to do or
Yeah.
nice initially, but then when you think about it, so what if they are um, like they can be heard better, then no one will buy legendaries anymore. And if they can be heard like worse, they're more obstructed or whatever, and then you have suddenly a benefit from something you paid for with blood bonds. So it's a really fine line
Yeah.
um, in balancing a feature that's actually not necessary, right? So, and if we can't add value to the game in all aspects, then it has a lower priority than a lot of other things.
Correct. Yeah, I also see some people ask the thing about the double, so the dual wield legendary DLC. This is something that we're still looking into, but as you can imagine, it's not as easy to split up a DLC that is already out. But it is something that we're still, looking into. But I can't promise that we actually are going to be able to or do this. But know that it is something that we're aware of that the community wants, but we just have to see what our possibilities are. So basically, it was introduced as a double wield skin or skin DLC, and that's why they weren't separated. Let's see what other questions we have. Will we ever get Twitch drops again? Well, I mean, we probably want to do another Twitch drops campaign in the future, but when we can't share yet. We'll just have to define details, and obviously, Alex's team has to be coming up with some new weapons and stuff. So when and what and how, we don't have any details on, but it is something that we want to do. No, unfortunately, we don't have anything for Hunt and Gamescom this year. Let's see. Just trying to find some more questions. I don't think we're ever gonna get a single utility slot for spyglass fuses and stuff. Oh, I have a cat. Um, yeah. So basically, for all the bigger features, we're gonna give an update in the near future with some more details. Um, let's see. I know a lot of people are mostly the same, so if we don't have any specific questions that we can answer now, we will end the stream. But if you have something that you want to ask, please, that isn't anything related to big, um, let's see. No, most likely we won't get cross progression between PS4 and PC because obviously the playing field on PC is very different from console, so it would give them a very unfair advantage over our console players. So at this time, this is definitely not something we have planned. This patch is at the moment already on the test server. So this patch update 1.4.3 went live yesterday. Normally it goes live on the day that we have the server or when we have the stream, sorry. But this time Dennis was sick, or I mean, yeah, he's sick. He has his leg in the cask, and I was gone, so we delayed it one day. So we'll do one more question. Let's see. That will be related to this update. When will be live on main? Well, usually we do a few tests. We have to adjust some things, see if the bug fixes that we have implemented are fixed. So usually it's about a week, depending on how fast we progress. Okay. So one last question. Yeah, I mean, maybe Christian can answer. The gold register, does it give it to the whole team?
No, as said, the same rules apply. So we have to see how it plays out if people actually have to talk about which of the two players of a trio gets the blood bonds, right?
So we basically have to fight. Basically, we're
That's not
causing
what I'm saying.
infighting and our. So if you're
Sit down and discuss.
Don't tell your friends. Just act as if you never saw it. Okay. So yeah, no, thank you guys so much. I mean, I can do it just that we are indeed looking into the high packet loss issue. This is something that is very high on our radar. I just don't have any details, unfortunately, what the solution is, but it is something that we're working on. Like matchmaking, we have already made some adjustments a little while ago to make it a bit more fair, but we are still investigating, if people feel that they play against higher players, even though they're fairly matched on the matchmaking, so like the ELO rating, we are looking into that. The same thing for some of the bugs that we're still investigating. So, like the ghost bug, we have already found some things, but we have to make sure that those things can actually be fixed or are going to be able to be fixed for the update and give you more update on that. So, basically, most of the biggest issues we are definitely aware of and we're working on. Some just sometimes need a bit more information because obviously we will have to add logging because we can't figure those out internally because we can't reproduce those bugs specifically. And that's why you guys are really awesome into helping us for those things. And yeah, basically, we are looking into them. We try to get information as much as possible and hopefully find a solution for those soon. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good time playing on the test server. I want to thank Christian and Alexander for joining me today on the stream. And yeah, we hope that you guys have a nice day, and we hope to see you on the test server. So yeah, maybe Alexander and Christian want to say bye.
Yeah. See you guys. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Have a good